It's a teen talk skating podcast where I embarrass myself. Hello, and welcome to episode number 46 of I Really Need Therapy. A teen talk skating. My name is Van Gogh. I hope you all are doing very well. I am extremely stressed, to be honest, because I have all these finals coming up for school and everything. But I am not that busy that I cannot record a very fun podcast episode for you all that still listen for some reason. I mean, love you listening, but like why you listening to me rant? But yeah, I have all these random finals, like oh my gosh, like I have like 3 chemistry tests next week. What? Let's not talk about it. I am recording this on a Friday the 13th. I do not know if that is cursed, but it is also December 13th, which is a very famous person's birthday. No, it is not mine. It's Taylor Swift's birthday, obviously, and we all love Taylor Swift on this podcast. Go check out my Taylor Swift episode, which, you know, self promotion is great. It barely works, but yeah. I hope you all are doing very well. I hope you all are not stressed like I am. I hope you all are able to enjoy December and the season of holidays and family and whatnot. But yeah, I can't do that because I'm struggling to even figure out what an ion is in chemistry these days. I don't know what that even means. But I hope you all are enjoying your week. I hope you all are not stressed like me, but we'll see. This episode is very chaotic, as I always am. I guess you should go to your program of the week, or I should go to the program of the week. We figure something. We'll figure something out. Let's go to the program of the week before I'm too weird. Let's do that. Yeah. Program of the week. Okay, so for your program of the week, this program is from the 2000s. I feel like I don't, and like I mean like the 2000s is in the decade, like 2000 to 2010. I feel like I don't watch a lot of figure skating from this era. I watch more from like the 90s and then like the 2010s, but the 2000s are great. We all love them. It's when, the scoring system changed and everything. So the program this week is from a Japanese skater, Fumi Suguri from Japan. I just said that. She's a Japanese skater from Japan. Great. But Fumi Suguri and her 2006 Worlds Free Skate. This, it's a post Olympic Worlds in 2006. We all love post Olympic Worlds. I feel like they're like the most wholesome worlds out of the whole quad, always. And I love this program. It is set to Piano Concerto number 2 by Rachmaninoff, and it is quite exquisite, I have to say. The jumps are like I'm telling you, when from like the 90s to like the 2000s, they did their lutzes differently back then. They just did the lutzes differently, and they did the lutzes in a really beautiful manner that I just feel like we need those type of lutzes again. I don't know what it is about these types of lutzes, but Fumi Suguri's lutz is like astonishingly beautiful. I'm just saying. And then her flip, like that thing went like that thing like went higher than my house. You know what I mean? Like that was a really good triple flip right after. What else in this program? And of course, some of the non-jump elements as well. There during the really beautiful piano like sequence, she does her spiral sequence, also known as a choreo sequence these days. But back then, where the choreo sequence, Fumi Suguri, she really does a beautiful spiral sequence right next to the piano, like soft, like breathe music. And then her spins are like, spinning, especially the last spin. The last position of her last, like, I think combination spin is a scratch spin, which is the one where like they go like super fast because they hold themselves basically. And it is so beautiful to watch. And it's just like she could drill a hole into the ice. It's like that one commercial where Kim drills a hole into the ice and she launches herself through the building. That's what I felt when Fumi Suguri was doing her scratch spin. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably shouldn't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. But yeah, I just like this program for its simplicity, but also those like really key moments with the spiral sequence and the spins, and of course the beautiful jumps that we see. But yeah, please go check it out. Fumisuguri, her her 2006 World Free Skate 2 Piano Concerto Number 2 by Rachmaninoff. Please go check it out. Um, yeah, please go check it out. Yeah. Now it's time for your main episode where you will see me cry for 50 minutes. Yay! I love that. I mean, you won't see me, you'll probably hear me, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We all know. That was your program of the week. Okay, people, it is time for your main episode because, guys, what happened? What happened? What happened at this competition? I do not know, but this week we are talking about the Grand Prix Final. Last week I did like the preview episode where I predicted who was going to win and place and everything. This week we're actually going to talk about who actually won, if I was right. Spoiler, I was not right. And everything like that. What happened at this competition? I can't explain. It's just chaos. It's just chaos. This whole season has been cursed, I'm telling you. It's been chaos upon chaos upon chaos, and I just can't. I have no words. I have 0 words in my brain right now because I'm just like, whoa, that competition happened. But we went to lovely Grenoble, France. You know, it was great. It was beautiful. The competition itself, not so beautiful. The rink was pretty. But and they actually fixed their camera angles. Okay, Grand Prix de France was like, we don't know what a camera is. But then Grand Prix Final was like, oh, a camera, right? Yeah, we know what it is. Sorry, ISU. Sorry, French Federation about your TV. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about the senior level in this competition. What happened in the senior level? In the junior level, tons of really cool highlights happened. Please go check it out if you haven't checked it out, the junior level yet. But this episode is just gonna be about the senior level because that is the level I'm most interested in. But of course, go check out the juniors because they're also amazing. And yeah, I know I've been joking that the other Grand Prix made me go to therapy this season, but I think the Grand Prix final actually sent me to the hospital. I don't think therapy actually worked anymore. I actually needed to go to the hospital. So yeah, Grand Prix final. Let's talk about it. Like I mentioned last episode, these results are super important. I can't stress this enough. I know Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir were stressing this on their broadcast as well that the Grand Prix final is the end of the fall half of the season, and of course, Worlds is the end of the spring half of the season. And so, Grand Prix final kind of becomes Worlds 2.0, if that makes sense. Or it kind of is Worlds 0.5, I guess. It's like before Worlds in the season. And it is kind of a good indicator of where everyone is kind of at, who the top skaters to watch out for are, etc. And so these events are incredibly important. The Grand Prix Final is a really prestigious event to win, to place at, to even be at is really good for the Grand Prix Final. And so it really does set the trajectory for the rest of the season. You get a lot of preview of the major competitions like Europeans and four continents, and of course, most importantly, Worlds, which this year is obviously deciding Olympic spots for the 2026 Olympics, which is super important. So it is all about building up that trajectory, and being at the Grand Prix final really sets your name in stone as one of the top skaters to watch out for. And so these results are crucial to watch out for. And so that's why I'm going to really talk about them in detail today. Not a lot of skaters I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about everyone at the senior level. But obviously, that's only 6 skaters or teams per discipline. But these 6 skaters or teams in each discipline are the ones to watch out for as we continue along this season. Also, I'm gonna play a little game. You know, we love a little game because I can't be sad all the time. Let's be fun. I'm gonna play a game to see if my predictions were right. But again, spoiler alert, I was really off. But what do you expect from figure skating? Like, let's be honest. Like, do you really think I was gonna win at this game? No, of course not. Let's be honest. This sport really hates me. The men. They're men. The men's discipline only brings chaos. There really is no exception this time around. Has there ever been an exception? Yeah, but like not in recent memory. That's all I'm gonna say. So for the men's competition, these 6 men we have, these results were chaotic. Yeah. And sixth place is a prediction that I got correct. Sixth place we have Kevin Amos of France. Where, this competition last season at the Grand Prix final, Kevin Amos did unfortunately kind of struggle here at the Grand Prix final. He did struggle here as well this year. Um, Here on the short program, he was sixth, kind of far back because he fell on his downgraded quad toe loop. He did fall on a triple axel attempt, and he wanted a triple toe, but he popped it into a double toe, which is really unfortunate. Um, so he did have a lot of ground to make up after the short program, of course. He was, let me think, he had 68.82 points. You know, about 13 points behind fifth place and, pretty far off the podium at all. But he did have a very redemptive fifth place free skate. Struggles on, some of the jumping passes with, errors and rotations and whatnot. But there were no pops there. And I think that is really important for him. He didn't pop. He did struggle with, stumbling and rotations and whatnot. But the jumps that he did get done, he got amazing GOE on them. His step sequence was a level 4, the only one in the competition, and he was still third in components overall, which obviously is a great result for him. So the free skate was a bit more redemptive, and really did, help to improve his score. Not a bad result at all for him. I really hope that this result doesn't affect him like too much because we saw how last year, how after the Grand Prix final, we had French nationals with him and then Europeans, two competitions that he didn't do so well at. But I'm really hoping he gets that redemption at French nationals. He gets that redemption at Europeans. That's what he's gonna want next. And I feel like coming here to the Grand Prix final this season after those struggles has been a really great story. And I feel like his comeback is imminent. Let's watch out for it, guys. Let's just watch out for it and see where it goes. And I really hope that it will go very, very well for Kevin Amos and have this amazing comeback story that we see. In fifth place in the men's event, we have my Chaos pick, who I thought was going to get third place with that Chaos prediction, but no, he is in fifth place with Mikhail Shadorov of Kazakhstan, who, was an alternate here in the first place, so he wasn't even supposed to be here. He did replace Adam Shamfa, who withdrew, but a really good result for him for his first time at the Grand Prix final, being an alternate. He was third in the short program with a clean skate technically. However, he did have the lowest component score of the field, which he definitely does want to work on. In the free skate, he was sixth place there with some jump errors with a fall on the under-rotated quadlet, an under-rotated quad flip, and an under-rotated triple axel, double axel. One, wacky, crazy, I'm a men's skater kind of thing he did was he tried to do a triple axel Euler quad Salchow because, the triple axel quad toe that he did was not enough. He tried to do a triple axel Euler quad Salchow. I can't even like imagine saying that. Oh my gosh. Because, why not? Because just why not? He did make a slight error on it, but it's really impressive that he's doing these triple and then quad combinations, which is absolutely crazy. I honestly do think he should have been fourth place overall. A lot of people did agree. The audience literally booed the score when they saw it, as they should, not gonna lie. But yeah, Mikhail Shadorov being fifth here is really good for him. I feel like he's the latest like chaos child of the sport. I'm really looking forward to seeing him later this season, at Four Continents and at Worlds. I feel like he is a threat for podiums and, just not the best competition with rotations here for him, but could be very, very good in the future. In fourth place from Italy, another one I got wrong was Daniel Grazel, who I thought was going to be fifth, but he came in fourth. Good. Who, he really did come into here as a huge wild card for me. You know, it was kind of unsure how he would skate. He hasn't had the best skates, but he hasn't had the worst skates this season. Here he was fifth in the short program with an under rotation on his quad lutz triple toe and on the quad loop. He was fourth in the free with an under rotation on the quad lutz and on the quad loop. And those under rotations are what is keeping him from getting those higher scores. He really does want to work on those. The rest of his program was done really, really well, however, and I think that is quite important to note that he was clean otherwise, but just in terms of the undertrations on his quads not as well. Those are bringing down his score. Will he be able to fix that for, Europeans and worlds? Hopefully for him. But he really does need to be paying attention to those because he doesn't want to create that trend where the judges see his jumps like, okay, we're automatically saying, or we're automatically gonna suspect that they are like a little underrated, which does tend to happen with some skaters who have that habit of underrotating. But otherwise, I think the rest of the program was done well. Was it my favorite program? Not really, but artistically wise, not my favorite, but he still did really well here. And fourth place is a great result for him. Okay, now onto the podium. Okay, so on in third place, another skater that I got wrong. Surprise, surprise. Is Shun Sato from Japan. I predicted him to be fourth place, but he ended up on the podium in third place. He is one of Japan's, top men trying to put himself on top. He really did quite well here. He was fourth in the short program with a fall on a unrotated and unclear edge quad lutz, and he did have a slight spin error as well. That quad lutz is, not his most consistent jump. The quad lutz and quad flip tend to be a bit hard for Shuntato, but he is attempting it and he did want the points from it, but he did not, I guess, get the best bang for his buck here. With attempting that, it did unfortunately bring his score down from, perhaps attaining a personal best. In the free skate, however, he was third with one of the best free skates he's ever had. His only real mistake was a fall on a unclear edge and under-rotated quad flip, which has, it again, the quad flip is a jump that he has struggled with a bit this season with either popping it, under rotating, etc. Not sure if he is keeping it in for the later season, but still, this is a really good performance from him. And if he was, if he had cleaner programs, he could have challenged for second place for sure. Um, he has relatively good consistency and more artistry in the free skate, particularly in the step sequence. So I'm really looking forward to what he can bring at Japanese nationals. Really, he is in Japan. Like thus far, I guess he is really second place behind the next skater we're gonna discuss. And that next skater from also of Japan is a prediction I got right, and that is Yuma Kageyama, who is Japan's top man. Man, I was saying man, but I was like, wait, no, there's one person, so it's just man. I don't know. Yuma Kageyama is Japan's top man. We know him as another kind of chaos child. We all love chaos children in the sport, I guess. He really did have the potential to challenge for first place here. He was pretty much seen as the only person I feel like he could challenge for the first place finisher. In the short program, he did fall on the quad sal cow, which did bring him second place there, but he was clean in the skate. Otherwise, he did win the component score on the just on the free skate actually. But in the free skate, he was first there. Actually, he actually popped again the quad sal into a double sal, and he had very slight error on his triple flip double loop at the very very end. He did win the components in the free, which is where he does have that advantage over the rest of the field. It obviously shows a lot of his improvements, his work with Carolina Costner, who I love. I always say that. His skating skills in general oh my gosh, have been getting a lot better, more improved than they have been in the past when he was a junior skater or just in the senior ranks. But yeah, really good for Yuma Kageyama. Just those style cows, I think, really were the main issue at this competition. But we will definitely see how he does at Four Continents and Worlds later this season. Oh my god. That yawn came out of nowhere. Oh my gosh. That was like a crazy, crazy, crazy yawn. Okay, so in first place here, the winner of the Grand Prix Final for, is this the second year in a row, I believe? Or the third year? No, second year in a row, right? I think it's the second year in a row, only the second, right? Or is it the third year in a row that he's won it? I don't know. But that is Ilya Malinin of the USA. It is the second year in a row, okay, because he got third his first year. Okay. But Ilya Malinin of the USA, he really was, the one to beat. He came here as, the presumed victor, but that wasn't obviously like set in stone. There was still a chance that he wouldn't do that well. But he really was the one to beat, and I think he, became the one to beat, obviously staying in first place where I predicted him to be. He has a new outfit for a short program, which is not my favorite, but he was almost clean in the short program, just a quarter call on the first jump of the quad lutz triple toe. Yeah, and then in the free skate, he also had a new outfit. The vampire program also got a new outfit. This is actually really, not the best free skate that we've seen from Ilya Malinin. He was second in the free skate here. He had either a quarter call or an under rotation call on every jumping pass that he attempted, which is concerning because he did not get that positive GOE on his jumps that he usually gets. He ended up getting negatives on his GOE, which he did not want. The most major mistake here that he really had was a fall on a under rotated quad lutz that he was doing. That one was quite obviously under rotated, I think. But some of the other jumps, I did see people saying like, I don't think that was a quarter call. It should have been called clean, etc. The crazy thing is that he attempted a 7 quad program, which I believe has never been done before. He has 7 jumping passes. Obviously, every single jumping pass he attempted a quad in combo, etc. Which is unprecedented for this level of skating. Crazy. He's never done this before, I believe. He could even at Worlds he didn't do this. But just not clean enough here to get first place in the free skate. With the rotations, he wants to work on rotations cleanly. The judges were stricter on him, particularly than usual, which did really affect his GOE and overall scores. In fact, his total technical score was actually lower than the base value because of all the negative GOE, which not the best. This was an okay performance. It wasn't the strongest performance. This was an okay performance, but he wants to clean up those rotation errors clearly for Worlds, where it is at home in Boston, and we will definitely see what happens at Worlds. Let's not even think about that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Ilya Molina in first place really wants to work on cleaning up his jumps, but still did put out a good victory here. And of course, that means I only got 3 out of 6 men correctly. 50%, I failed, but it's something, it's fine. Not like I could have done any better. It's the men's event. Like, let's be honest, it's the men's event, right? Like, what was I gonna do? Like, you can't. There's no mathematical formula you can use. You know what I mean? Anyway, the men. That was the men. Now we're gonna move on to the women. Who, the women's discipline was the one that excited me the most about this competition. It seemed like kind of anyone could be on the podium, and like I would be happy with anyone on the podium. Really, this is the one that really did excite me the most. So exciting. Definitely delivered on how exciting it was. The short program was so problematic. Like I believe everyone made a mistake in the short. No one had a clean skate in the short, which is interesting. I think it was really a lot of pressure. I feel like in this competition. Um, and I think a lot of these skates kind of showed a lot of that tension and, a bit of nervousness here and there. But, I think the free skate was better than the short program for sure because the short was cursed, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. In sixth place here, we have from Japan, Rina Matsuke, who I love her so much. So who even cares about sixth place? Good skates regardless. Super happy that she even was here. I always say this, I've been saying this since Skate Canada. She was my find of the season, or she has been my find of the season. Oh my god, my burping. That's disgusting. Rina Matsuke has been my find of the season. I will always remember her free skate at Skate Canada for being like the most magical thing I've watched in my lifetime. Oh my gosh. And I am hopeful that we will get to see more of her competing at the senior level internationally in the future. But here, just not her best program. She was fifth in the short after a fall on a downgraded and a unclear edge on the triple Lutz. In the free skate, she was sixth place in the free after a few under rotation and quarter calls here and there that again did bring her score down. She did pop a triple flip also into a double flip, which did affect her score, but still a good, relatively good program artistically. I think she deserves more components. Only fifth place in components. What is this? She deserves at least third, I feel like. I don't know. I'm just saying. But yeah, I hope that Japan Skating Federation does send her to more competitions. I hope she keeps on skating. This is a really good story in the making right here from Rina Matsuke. I think she's a really magical skater that a lot of people are starting to grow to love, including me. Okay, in fifth place, also of Japan, is another person I got correct, and that is Hana Yoshida, who's fifth. I always said that Hana Yoshida was going to be a wild card here as well. Depending, I think she could have been anywhere in the placing, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out in her favor here with her fifth place. She was third in the short program and on the podium after two quarter calls on her jumping passes. That did bring down some of her GOE. She was fifth in the free skate. She actually tried the triple axel again, like she has been this season. She got a quarter on it and did kind of stumble, but still better than her previous attempts that she's had this season. And she also had a couple other unclear edge calls here and one other quarter call that did bring some of her GOE slightly into the negative zone, which she didn't really want. But still a really good skate from Hana Yoshida. With that triple axel, obviously she was hoping to get it clean, but not here yet. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Hana Yoshida as well. I feel like Hana Yoshida is a very youthful and a joyful skater that I really do want to see more of. I feel like Hana Yoshida has something to really offer and bring and whatnot, and I think she is really fun to watch. Especially her very fun galactic free skate is one of my favorites, I feel like. Okay, in fourth place here, we have another skater that I predicted correctly. Look at me. We have Wakaba Higuchi of Japan, who the Wakaba comeback journey reaches the Grand Prix final. We expect this? I feel like not really, but Wakaba Higuchi made it to the Grand Prix final. Not the competition that she really wanted. Honestly, unfortunately, here she was sixth in the short program with an unclear edge on the triple flip and a quarter fall and a loss of combo on her triple lutz. That triple lutz really was unfortunate falling on it, and then obviously she can't put the combo on after she fell on it. She really needed that combo for a chance at the podium in the short. And then, she said like, well, the short went good, the short didn't go good. I don't know why I said like the short didn't go good. But who cares? Who cares? Because she laid down an almost perfect free skate, just a unclear edge call on the triple flip at the very end. But she literally came in and be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually don't care about anyone's opinion." Um, and she actually did also pop a triple sal into a double sal, but it's fine. But she had a basically almost clean free skate and like literally brought the house down for me because I love her free skate so much. I think she's just so amazing. I think Wakabe Higuchi is like such like inspiring. Like I don't know, it just really shows how strong she is after everything that she's been through, all the struggles, all the I don't know, all the struggles, all the injury. Like who cares? Wakaba Higuchi, look at me. Exactly. I just think Wakaba is like the strong skater here. After everything, she has so much to give and so much to grow, and we love her. Let this not be the last we see of Waka Higuchi. I'm really excited to see her at Japanese nationals and worlds, hopefully, and maybe the Olympics again. Who knows? But yeah, do not let Wakaba Higuchi get her last word here. Let's just say that. Now onto the podium, we have my first wrong prediction in the women's event. In third place here, we actually have Kari Sakamoto of Japan. I did predict her to get first place. She is the three-time world champion in a row. I predicted her to win here, but unfortunately, the ice just was not really with her here. Unfortunately, um, her short program was quite the unfortunate skate. She had an unclear edge starting off on her triplets, and then in the second half of the program, she attempted her iconic triple flip, triple toe, but she did under rotate both jumps on that combo and then fell on the triple toe at the end, which was quite a shock to see that. I don't know what I'm saying. It was quite a shock to see that. I didn't really expect that coming from her, but it was a quite unfortunate fall there. And, major GOE loss with the deduction and everything as well. But she did really fight back in the free skate. She did a lot better in the free skate with in the free skate. No falls, no pops, just some under rotation mistakes in the last half of the program that really did, bring a bit more of her score down, but still really, really good. The first half of the Chicago program that she's doing, it really did sell me. It did sell itself to me. It was growing on me, I have to say. I don't think that this shows anything bad about Carrie at all. She has been through, not the best competitions, and then she'll peak at Worlds. Like, she will peak at Worlds, I feel like. We've seen her fight over and over again in the later half of the season. The first half of the season, I don't think is Kyrie Sakamoto's strongest suit, I feel like, based on her history. But in the second half season is where she really, really does shine. Even this first half of the season, when she went to NHK Trophy, it was a really good result for her. And so I think Kairi Sakamoto is still a really strong skater. Just didn't have the jumps really with her here this competition, but I'm sure that she will continue to skate very, very well. In second place from Japan, we have Moni Chiba, who I did predict in third place, but she got into second place. Really good. A skater from Japan who is really starting to show me that it really is one of the ones to be. Moni Chiba is one of the ones to be, and she is here to show that. She is not here to like mess around and be like, yeah, I'm new, la la la. No, Moni Chiba is here to play. She came into more prominence last season, in the second half of last season, and obviously now here as well at the Grand Prix Final. Oh, more yawning. Oh my gosh. I think she should have been first in the short program. Just personally, I think she had the best performance in the short program overall compared to the other skaters. She did get an unclear edge call on the triple lutz, and a quarter call on the triple flip. But I really loved her performance. It was bubbly. It was fun. It was poppy. I feel like the performance wise, I did really enjoy it. I did find myself smiling to it. In the free skate, she was second. She had a quarter call on the triple loop and then two unclear edges on both of her triple lutzes, which does tend to be one issue that we see from not just Moni Chiba, but a lot of other skaters that they have an unclear edge call on their lutz and it does bring down their GOE. Here she did do get it on both of the lutzes, and she did get it on the lutz in the short program as well, which, hopefully that is something she's able to fix because I always think that Lutz edges are like the bane of existence for some skaters, and I don't want that for Moni Chiba. Some skaters really do struggle with their, edges on the triple Lutz, but I'm hoping Moni Chiba can grow from that. Um, Her layback spin in the free skate actually made me gasp on the inside. I'm like, I'm not even kidding. It was so fast and there were so many nice good positions. I was just like, Mona Chiba and that layback spin, really fun. I'm glad that she got, a good amount of Joey like accordingly to that. Because I really do think lots of fours and fives. Yeah, just fours and fives and 1-3. Really good skating from Moni Chiba on that spin. Really good. And she is definitely the most consistent skater in this whole competition. I think that is a fact here based on her scoring so far this season. She has been the most consistent out of any of the skaters here, which could play a huge role at later competitions like Worlds or Four Continents, where other skaters they may not be as consistent. Monichiba can really sweep in with that consistency that she really does have, and really take something. But yeah, really good for her. Overall, we just reviewed 5 women from Japan, all from Japan at this competition. I think Japanese nationals will be an absolute mess. It's not going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think it's going to be that fun. Oh my god, what's with all the yawning? It's me and my little adventures inside my head that, yeah, I don't know. Okay. In first place, let's go, guys, let's go. In first place is Amber Land from the USA, who I also got wrong. Actually, I actually predicted her to be second place, but Amber Land, the queen that she is, she got first place. I have always believed in Amber Land. I always say this, and look at this, Amber Land Grand Prix Final champion. Who? This is a totally like new Amber Glenn that we are seeing. This is like my wildest dreams. It's been achieved right here, right now, because Amber Glenn just became Grand Prix Final champion. If you told me that this would happen 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, I'd be like, no. But you know what? Amber Glenn, she persevered. She struck through. She's just the best. And Amber Glenn's just amazing. In the first in the short program, she was first place. It is a very questionable first place. I honestly think that she should have been second place. I think Moni Chiba, that we just discussed, should have been first. In the short program, she had very, very shaky jumps here from Amber Glenn. Her triple axel was quite shaky. Her triple flip, triple tail combo was on the quarter, and she had a very, very wild triple loop that did get a little negative GOE. And again, yeah, but she fought back. That short program did not phase her at all because her free skate, it was not perfect, but it was the best of the day, and that's what really mattered here. She did pop a triple sal into a double sal cal, and she did get a quarter call on her triple flip, but she got an amazing triple axel done because that triple axel was probably one of the better ones that I've ever seen her do. It got really, really good GOE, and I feel like oh, so good. The only other, that was it. That was it. Okay. And the free skate is not her enemy anymore. I think in the past, we've seen the free skate kind of disappoint Amber Glenn over and over again. She's had good triple crown. She just can't get that good free. But look at her, people. Look at her and tell me that she is not a good skater. Okay. Just saying. Just saying. Just kidding. She's amazing. She's amazing. And you're not. I'm kidding. I'm so ecstatic for Amber Glenn, obviously. I think world champion is next for her. Come on, let's be honest. Um, there was also the kiss and cry moment where she was waiting for her scores and Amber Glenn was waiting for her. Or no, I think she got her score. I don't know. It was after she got her score probably, and they showed like where the three like other Japanese women are that were originally first, second, third before Amber Glenn got her score, and they copied her little ending pose where she puts her hand forward, and it was so cute. And then Amber Glenn, she's something like, "Oh, that's the phone." There she was like, "Oh my gosh, guys, that was so cute," and it was like the most wholesome figure skating moment in that I've seen in decades. I don't know, decades of my life. And then Mark Henready, who was commentating on the ISU stream, he was like, "Wow, Amber Glenn just won Japanese nationals, ha ha ha." Obviously, she was the only non-Japanese skater here in the women's event, which is absolutely crazy. And she's saying that she won Japanese nationals, but yeah. But yeah, I also got 50% here, not too shabby. I got sixth, fifth, and fourth right, but the podium just got a little mixed because of the chaos that happened. In the pairs event, the pairs event, I don't know what I was doing last episode, but it worked out. It worked out. In sixth place here we had from Italy the team of Giardi and Ambrosini, who came here as alternates for Stellato Deschamps, who had to withdraw due to illness. They had a clean short program here from for themselves, just not as high GOE as the rest of the field, which kept them in sixth place. But they did get sorry, my nose. They did get sixth place in the free as well. They did have mistakes on both of their side by side jumping passes. Their axle sequence had some pops that did occur and a pop double sal instead of a triple sal. They have kind of been struggling this season, unfortunately, from Giardi and Ambrosini. They have had moments of greatness, such as Europeans, where they really did shine last year. Um, I don't think this is like bad or anything. I think that they just have not had the best season in terms of consistency. I think that is something they will continue to grow on. Maybe we will see another surprise for them at Europeans, but I feel like Europeans in pairs right now is so scary, and there's so many teams that could do really well. Can Giardi and Bersini be that team that really rises up? I definitely think they can if that occurs here. We will definitely see. In fifth place from the USA, we have the team who has made so many great improvements, which is so amazing for them. And that is Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea, who, in the short program, they were fifth with a stumble on their triple loop throw and a slight spin error, but they had a very, very huge triple twist, which is very impressive to see. Very big, very large twist that they've really worked on, honestly. They were fifth in the free as well. They did fall on an under rotated side by side triple toe and another error on their axle sequence with the triple sal and then an under rotated double sal. And they did make a slight triple loop error, but the loops, or not the loops, the throws are becoming one of their better elements. I think last season was kind of a season where they did kind of struggle with some of the throws that they were doing, but they are improving on them even with, some of the slighter mistakes that they're doing. But the throws aren't, they're not the best, and the side by side jumps aren't the best. But compared to last season, you've seen definite improvement. You could see definite improvement from them. If you put it side by side, I think you could see that. And, their lifts were great. Their lifts were lifting. Their lifts were lifts. I don't know. Their lifts are always good. I feel like their lifts are really their highlight as a team. In fourth place, we have again from Italy, Conti and Masi, who were the surprise kind of winners of Cup of China, who had the potential to challenge for the podium here if they achieve similar scores. Uh, Unfortunately, they were not able to. They were fourth in the short program with an error on the triple loop throw, and they were fourth in the free skate with very, very close, clean free skate, except a slight twist error and a fall on the side by side triple cow, which unfortunately did kind of bring them down. They have shown moments of greatness this season, like their free skate, obviously, or their two programs actually um, at Cup of China. Just not here, unfortunately. Just if they had the higher GOE based on getting that, clean triple style and the twist, I think they could have gone onto the podium, and cleaner in the short program as well. They just weren't the cleanest, and I think that's really what brought them down. Nothing else. I'm hoping that they can replicate that moment at Europeans and Worlds, where I think last season was a bit of a struggle. I feel like this season might be their kind of comeback. And I really do think that will be very key to them placing well if they can get those, skates to be more consistent. But they are currently actually first in the world in terms of standing, but they've got a new personal best this season and everything. I think that they will continue to do very well. Onto the podium, a prediction that I'm honestly really surprised I got it right. I guess my brain does have work sometimes. In third place, we had from Georgia, the pair team of Metalkina and Borulava, who were third in the short program with a very new personal best, a completely clean skate there. They were actually second in the free skate, just a quarter on the triple sal double axle, which, wasn't, I think side by side jumps are kind of a lot of team struggles. So, but they also were unable to put on that third double axle that they would have wanted for more points. I think third does feel like a good result for them. I agree with the results that were here at the pairs event actually, because they are not as refined in components as the other teams yet. They don't have the best synergy or partnership of all the teams at this event. They are, not the best in components, but they are working on that, and I do think that technically they are relatively strong. Can be sometimes inconsistent, like we saw at Skate America, but I think genuinely that they are getting better as a team, and hopefully they can work on their components as well. In second place, we have from Japan, Miura and Kihara, who were really the main competition for the number one team here, but the mistakes did add up, but that is totally okay. Very close second place in the short program for them, just an under rotation on the side by side triple toe. They did win the component score. And then we had mistakes on the side by side jump sequence and then on both throws in the free, which unfortunately did disrupt their chances of getting to that top position on the podium. Those mistakes were ultimately detrimental, and so they really do want to work on those elements, obviously. Yeah, really unfortunate mistakes on those throws and then the side by side jump sequence. But they could have been first here on a better day. They definitely are the strongest on components when they are clean. Emotionally, I also always feel the most impact with Miura and Kihara. So I feel like artistically they are the strongest when it is a good day for them. Just not the best skate in that free skate that they really would have wanted with those jump and throw errors. But ultimately really good. In first place is Hasse and Volanen from Germany. Wow, wow, wow is really all I can say for them. Really good. Way to go, honestly, for Hasse and Volanen. They had a clean short program here. Twist was one of the tallest ones I've probably ever seen in my life. It flowed so nicely out and everything was great. In the free skate, they had an almost clean free skate, just an under rotation on their double axle that was in sequence. Um, but still good. They actually did set a personal best in the short, but not in the free here. But a really good skate still. They are really the ones to beat this season. Europeans and worlds will really be their next challenges. I really do feel like they are kind of top of the world right now, and I think they are going to remain there. But that does mean that I got 100% in my predictions for the pairs event. I don't really know. Why is it pairs? I don't know. Literally the one I prepared the least for. I watched pairs the least out of all the disciplines. It just feels kind of relatable to school. It's like studying for a test, or not studying for a test, but still getting 100 somehow. Like how did I do that? But whatever. What if Stellato and Deschamps were here? I don't really know if they did. If they didn't withdraw from injury, what would have happened? We will probably never know. But yeah, that was very interesting results here at the Grand Prix Final for pairs. I'm honestly really intrigued what's gonna happen with Europeans and four continents and whatnot, and world I think will be very crazy for pairs. Oh, whew. Okay, guys, last one. I know, hang in there, right? Hang in there. And last discipline, of course, is the ice dance discipline. I literally said I thought something was gonna go bad in the ice dance event last episode. Guess what happened? Guess what happened, people? Guess what happened? Something bad happened. I'm just saying the vibes I got were right, and I don't know why they were right. I just thought I knew in my head like something bad's gonna happen. I don't know why, and something bad did happen. Oh my god! Like of course, it's my fault. I just think it's my fault. But in sixth place here in the icing event, we had the home team of Loporeva and Brissot from France. They were skating at the home Grand Prix final. Great for them qualifying for the first time this season. They were fifth here in the rhythm dance, sixth in the free dance. And that result actually just honestly has to do with GOE in general. They just don't have as high GOE and as high program components as the other teams competing at the event who have, competed for longer, developed their skills for longer. They don't have as much cleanliness in terms of that, but I know that they will grow well. I feel like they will be third at Europeans by now. I feel like I don't know, like there are a lot of European teams competing for the third place on the podium. Will it be them? Will it be, Reed Ambrulevicius or Turkulevicius or the Tashlers? I don't know, but I feel like they are going to be the presumed team to be third at Europeans, and we will see. And fifth place is the one I had to mess up. It is Gillis and Poirier from Canada, who I predicted to be in second place, but they ended up in fifth place, which makes me so sad. But oh my gosh, no, Gillis Poirier, like why? Me and my curse words, that's why. In the sixth place here, we had a fall on the pattern step from Paul Poirier, which is so unfortunate. It was like no, 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 no. Like, no way they felt. No. And, like, I don't know. I feel like they had such a vibe going on with the beach theme. They have scuba diving outfits now, but just a fall on the pattern step that really brought, that score down for that element. Obviously, their score overall, which is which is super unfortunate. But they did have a really redemptive second place in the free with a clean skate there, which is quite impressive. Let me pull up the right link. Oh my god, I feel like I don't know, crying. But yeah, they did have a redemptive second place in the free, which, very interesting. Sixth in the rhythm dance, second in the free, and then fifth overall, clean in the free. I just think that, they were one of the teams that were presumed to, maybe challenge for first place, but that mistake in the rhythm dance brought them down. They really want to avoid making those mistakes again. We did see a mistake at Grand Prix Finland, I believe, where they also fell there. But I really want to see them make a huge comeback at Worlds where I hope that they will skate so, so well, that they will blow the arena, the roof off the arena. You know what I mean? In fourth place is another team I predicted wrong. I predicted them fifth place, but they got fourth, which is really good. And that is La Joie and La Ga from Canada, also of Canada. They were fourth here in the rhythm dance, and they were fifth in the free dance. They're a really strong team. Again, not like Loboda Bristow, they just don't get as high GOE or program components as the other teams, but they were, above Gilson Poirier, the other Canadian team here, which does show that, when Gilson Poirier makes mistakes, unfortunately, La Joie and La Ga can really rise up against them. Against them, that sounds bad. No, this is a friendly competition. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I said it like that. But yeah, I did see some discussion about how Lejeune Laga have really been consistent this season, have been really a consistent team from Canada. And so, it is going to be really interesting, I think, what will happen at Canadian Nationals, what we will see happening there. And I'm really interested in to see how that will, kind of play into everything. We don't know. Figure skating is like a huge, like, I don't know, crime novel at this point. Who knows? Fear and Gibson were in third place, a prediction that I actually got right. They were third in the rhythm dance and fourth in the free dance. Actually, in total score, they were actually not too far behind second place here, just about a point behind, less than a point behind second place, actually. And, I always say that Fear and Gibson are the team that carry their own unique personality and unique characteristics that does tend to separate them from the other teams, which is why I think a lot of people either gravitate towards them or actually kind of dislike them, which I feel like you should, not hate. But I think they have shown a lot of people that they are still great in their own right, and they have, proven the doubters wrong. And they have been very consistent this season with their scores, and that's really good. We'll see what happens at Europeans. We'll see what happens at Worlds. Will they get onto the world podium for the first time? We will definitely see what happens with Fear and Gibson. In second place, we have my favorite team, who I actually predicted fourth place, but they got second because I'm so happy for them. That is Guignard and Fabry from Italy. I'm happy that they did not get fourth place. They actually got second. They left Grand Prix France behind them for good, right? They fell in at Grand Prix France, and they were super unhappy with that. But great results here in France again. They've proven that France is not cursed. Second in the rhythm dance. I love the fun vibes. I don't know why people dislike their rhythm dance so much. I really do enjoy their rhythm dance. I like how they use the theme of like the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, really well. And I feel like they have fun personalities in their program. And they were third in the free dance, but hung on for second place overall for Guignard and Fabry of Italy here. Really good for them. Yeah. Okay, so then we have in first place the, world champs and everything. We have Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, who, really did not want to repeat, a performance like Skate America here, where they fell in the rhythm dance here at the Grand Prix Final. They didn't want to repeat that, but they set huge scores here. They did the opposite of failing or falling. They did amazing with huge scores. They were more than 13 points overall over second place, which is a huge margin, especially in ice dance where, such differences can be so small. But no, this difference was large. They were first in the rhythm dance with no mistakes, and they were first in the free dance as well, which is really great scores. Heavily, they are kind of heavily predicted to repeat as US and world champions, which really sets them up well for that. And of course, the Olympics that are coming up. I think Chong and Bates are really one of those like teams people think like, oh, they're really like they rose after, the generation of Papadakis Citoron and Hubble Donahue kind of retired and everything. Chong and Bates were the ones to really rise up, and they are, the current kind of leaders in the ice dance field that people want to beat. They are the ones to beat. So in the ice dance event, I also got 50%, which is strange because you would think I would get the ice dance event, which is usually consistent, right? But no, 50% here and way out of order, like way out of order on the ordinals and everything, the placements. Um, but yeah, that's my throat broken. I'm just kidding. But that is all the skating content for the fall half of the season, at least competition content, obviously. Next week will be a more fun episode. I have, finals and everything at school, so we'll see what I prepare. I would probably do a rant about figure skating. I feel like we love a good rant on this podcast. Why not, right? And with that, thank you for following around with me, Van Gogh, on the Teen Talk Skating podcast on this Grand Prix season, which has been a Grand Prix season from another planet. I'm telling you. I'll see you at Europeans, at US Nationals, at Four Continents and Worlds. Yeah, and we are halfway through this season already, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah, and that is all for this episode of a Teen Talk Skating. My name is Van Gogh. I hope you enjoyed the wild, chaotic ride that was the Grand Prix final. We will see you at Europeans and Nationals and Four Continents and Worlds. And we will always, always, always be breathing in the chaos from those competitions. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode. My name is Van Gogh. I will see you next week for a rant episode, probably. And bye bye.